Let's go for position number 3 or 4. And there we go. Last of the guys lining up right now. We're on camera with David, and we'll stay with that, and we'll just pop around and see exactly what's happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the Grand Prix, and they're away. They're off. They're off. Seems as though there's a bit of wheel spinning, avoidance.
Ooh, and there's already something in the middle of the race pass. It's been left stranded. I think that was the judge. Not sure what happened there. There was a horse in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I saw that swinging. I think it was avoidance of all. A hell of a wheel spinning there. Going off. I think foot was flat, and going from there. Let's just go up the line and have a look at David where he is. He's still in position number 3. Just in front of him is Gav Pig, and then here's Wazzy coming through. They look to be pretty tight.
4 are in the order they started. So no changes at the start. Actually, your top 6 are in the order they started. So no changes in your top 6 drivers. Halfway through lap 1.
I mean, obviously a bit of...
What about first? Wish I could tell you what happened.
I think let's have a look and see
DNF.
if we can go back down there. DNF. Would not be able to tell you what's going on there. Maybe there will be a replay sent through to us on that. And we can give you an indication. But some really close racing here.
So it's just 10 drivers left now from it started. Still that Force India number 96 leads the way. Gap is up to 2.27. DW just a further half time. And Springbok doing a great job in the half to 4th. And it seems to be a comfortable 4th as well.
Yeah, I'm just going on board with the Goose, with the Springbok Gamer, just to have a look at what he's seeing.
I can tell you that Gavin has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings around this track so early in the race. I think that can only be corner cutting. It's the only thing that makes sense. What other multiple warnings could you have already collected? I know this is a very difficult track when it comes to track limits. That gap now 3 seconds, so continuing to get bigger. Fastest lap, a 141.5 by your race leader as we start lap.
Just a small incident there from Staff, smacked the wall, lost a little bit. It seems though the wing has been damaged, so we'll see what happens there. I think he'll be going in and having a look at that. Oh, we just had some word from Pete Ballas. He drove into the wall, so unfortunate for him. But I'm sure he'll learn from that and he'll be back. There's Staff into the pits in the Ferrari. Let's have a look back online, out on the track. Still maintaining their positions as well. And Gav Pig losing a bit of ground on Wasi at the moment, and I think Wasi's well out in front in the Force India. There we go. There's a nice view of the guys coming down. Let's put some geometry on, and let's see if we can look at change in positions. We can leave the tires on, and then obviously let's have a look at that speedometer, what he's actually doing, where he's gearing in, where he's gearing down, and where he's looking for opportunity. Oh, that was so close into that section there. Very nicely done, coming away. Excellent stuff from Wassi at the moment. Very nice. Gav Pig trying to grab him back, trying to bring him back in, and just hot on his tail is obviously this man, who's obviously going to be looking for some opportunities. And I think what we should do is just go on board with him so we can have a really good overview of actually what's taking place between De Wit and Gav Pig in front of him. Let's see what happens.
Also got Thomas down in 6th place. Our debutant is doing a good job for the time being. So on lap 4, hasn't had any damage, hasn't seen the pits. But your top 4 remain unchanged from how they started. TNB Wazzy leads from Gav. And the battle for second is heating up.
That it is, and we're on board with
and
DW.
The gap to first has dropped dramatically. I'm not entirely sure what Wazzy has done. But surely there was a mistake there, or is he carrying damage? I don't see any damage on the car, but that gap was 3.3 seconds at a stage, now just 1.7, and he's coming into the pits. Your race leader comes into the pits on lap 4.
Oh, look at this. It's going to be taken. Gav Pig is taken by De Wit. So lovely racing there. Nice and clean. No touching. Beautifully done by De Wit. Nicely done. Gavin's now dropped into 2nd place. So that was quite a thing to see there. De Wit from 3rd to 1st on the start-finish straight. And then really just snuck himself into that corner, into that number 1 corner to take Gavin and put Gavin in 2nd place. So we will
tell you that TNB Wazzy has emerged from the pits. He's come out on a set of softs, and he's come out in 4th place in clean air.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So this could be an interesting strategy. Do you think you can go to the end on softs? Or is that
pushing it?
Is that a stretch too far? It is the hardest compound on the weekend.
I think
it depends on the track.
Yeah, I think if he manages those tires right, Jay, he'll be fine. You know, I think they're obviously looking to see how they do, and I think Wazzy is going to definitely try and stretch these as far as he can go.
For the time being, that means your race leader is DW. Goose has retired from the session. We saw his, well, briefly, when Gavin drove past, we saw his broken Renault in the middle of the road. Seems to have had a shunt into the pits, so he's reacting to Wazzy. And what will he do? He's serving a penalty. What tyre will go on? He's putting on a set of ultra softs. It's a completely different strategy for Gavin. But will Wazzy come out ahead? He will.
No, Wazzy's 2nd, so he's moved up to 2nd. Gavin 3rd.
Wazzy comes out ahead. Gavin reacted quickly to the pit stop, but served a 5-second penalty, and that made the difference, and it allowed Wazzy to get through. So was he in second on a set of soft? And now what does DW do? Does he carry on that set of tyres, or is he going to come in for a pit stop? Gap at the moment, 22.9 seconds. Need about 20 seconds for a pit stop here. We'll be close.
I think it's going to be extremely close there. And I think what you're going to see right now is a decision by the man himself to either pit or not. And let's see if that's going to be the case.
Well, he will have made the decision already. We'll see what it is when he goes around the final corner. Will he stay out?
It looks as though he's staying out. Yeah, he's staying out.
Yep, he's staying out. So he's staying out on this set of is it Hypersofts? It is Hypersofts.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's Ultrasofts. It's Ultrasofts.
Is it? Yeah, it's
so
the Ultrasofts.
Oof, he's having a bit of trouble there with traffic. Gets through unscathed. No damage. With that gap to Wazzy, 22.3 seconds. And now the gap 21 seconds. Like I said, pit stop here around about 20 seconds. So now getting even closer.
Yeah, I think he's starting to feel the effect of the wear of the tires. And I would expect probably in this round, and that's why we're sticking with him. We're sticking with De Wit here to have a look what is the decision he's going to make. And where is he going to go from there? Are you keeping an eye on Wazzy at the moment there, Jay? Just to see where he is.
I'm on Wazzy at the moment. It's just 21.3 seconds behind DW. So it's really a pit stop in it.
Well, I'm watching De Wit now at the moment. Let's see what he does. He's almost at the start and finish, but it seems as though he's staying out again. Yep, he's staying out again. So he's really going for it. So he's going to stay out there as long as he can.
He's still comfortable on the Ultras.
I'm sure he's actually watching sort of lap times, making sure that once he sees those lap times drop away, I think he's definitely going to make the decision to go in there and make those changes on the tires. You can see the tires are actually getting a little bit worn there, but still he seems to have great control.
While we talk about first and second, Gavin goes over the line and sets the fastest lap third. So he's not out. Definitely set for a podium. Springbok in fourth place where he started. He's held on to that position, and that position seems to be his.
Yeah, I think he's
is a long way away.
Put himself in that position, seated himself nicely. I mean, Ivan's doing fine in fifth there, which is he seems to be also holding on to that place quite nicely. I think Judge, I'm quite surprised he's not battling on for, and the racing's not a little bit closer. But let's go and have a look down there, maybe just see what's happening there. I don't want to miss what's going on in the front, but I just want to see the gap there is quite significant. And let's just go to Wazzy. Is he going to come around? Here's TW. Sorry, DW. If I've got a great sense that he may make the decision on this round to go in. But let's see if my prediction is correct or not.
That gap now 19.8 seconds.
So there is a gaining happening. There is a gaining. Maybe David understands that as well,
It
and
was
maybe makes a
23
decision.
seconds.
So 23 down to 19, if I'm correct. Yep.
Yes, that's already.
Yep.
Could also be that he's taking as long as he possibly could. He's planning on stopping once. And he wants that second set to be in the best goal towards the end of the race. Stretch that pit stop. Gaps being maintained for the time being. 20.3 seconds.
There we go.
So to the pace and keep the pace higher, he can stay out. The only problem is when he can't maintain the pace of the soft tyre. But he's doing it for now.
Yeah, he's out. He's remaining out there. So he's not going in at the moment, David. So Wazzy has to try and shorten that gap and see if he can actually beat him on the outer pit stop, and see once he can get in there, shorten that time to see if he can actually pass him. So we're on with Wasi at the moment, coming through start and finish into turn one. Handled very nicely, as always. Gav Pig in the Ferrari at the moment with the pink helmet. Got to have a word with him on that. Maybe he's looking for new sponsorship for his helmet.
Could be pink, or it could just be symbolic. It could be purple. Could be what he intends for his lap times. Could be purple.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Bit of braking. And then, as you mentioned, just going down to Springbok Gamer. He's seems to be happy in and pretty much set in his current position in a fourth position. So he's pretty happy about what he's doing.
He's doing a good job. He just needs to maintain his speed, stay in fourth, and you know what? If one of these guys do make an error, he's going to find himself on the podium. So good drive in Singapore.
Absolutely.
Not the easiest track to be at.
So here we go. On board now with Ivan. And as I said, I don't want to miss out too much, so we'll stay with him a little while. He's got somebody in front of him. Let's see if he's able to hand that down. I think it's Devon at the moment. Yeah, it is probably Devon. He's coming up back in. He's past Devon. And just behind him is obviously the D-man himself, David, looking to pass now two back markers. They've got blue flags flashing at them like crazy. He's obviously, I hope he's well aware. Oh, that was very, very close from Devon. Almost an accident happened there, and that would have been very, very sad for David if Devon had gone into the back of him. But well done from Devon. He kept it clean. Yes, he's been overtaken. So Ivan's just taking care of putting some cars in front of Wazzy. So he's going to try and make that gap now and capitalize on that to get himself in a much better position from Wazzy. It looks as though Wazzy has dropped a place, though. Gavin's sort of just taken...
He has dropped a place. He's now got a Ferrari in between him and DW.
We're on there.
We didn't see what happened. And, but when I tuned in, this is what I saw. It's about between 1 and 1.5 seconds behind Gavin.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now.
Set of softs.
Oh, a little bit of an edge on the wall there from Gavin. So I reckon he can see the pressure's on him at the moment. There's a lot of pressure, and I think he's feeling it. But still maintaining it there. Very, very nice stuff.
Nice racing here for second place.
Very nice stuff. So just on board now with Wasi. Let's see. One's using a rig and the other using a controller. And is he going to pass him? Yes, he does. Wasi takes second. Gavin had to back off there.
And that was nicely done.
It was lovely done. Well driven.
That was a pass that was planned a corner ago. Stradom is retired from the session from 5th place. So that's the end of the Merc driver.
There's the Merc standing on the side there. So obviously must have hit the wall.
Another DNF makes the list now of 3 DNFs. Means we'll only have 8 finishes. That's if everybody finishes.
Yeah, I think the debutants...
TNB DW leads from TNB Wasi by 28 seconds, and I'm actually quite keen to ask Wasi why. Because I obviously missed that completely. But he was about 20 seconds behind DW, and then he was behind Gavin. And I'm not sure what happened in that sequence.
Well, here comes the traffic for Wasi, who's obviously trying to gravel hook De Wet in. And I think he's got a bit of a task on his hands at the moment, from what I've seen. There are a number of... no, he's right there. What are you talking about? De Wet is actually just in front of Wasi. I think that time has been reduced dramatically. I think De Wet went in for the pit stop. Must have, because now they're right on each other. So now we start to see probably a battle of note going to happen here between these two long-serving rivals.
Just a gap of 1.4 seconds between them. So nothing in it. But DW is going to be on a fresh set of Ultra Softs. So I think his car should just be quicker. He should have the pace. Was he already been on that set of softs for 8 laps now? Remember, he got those tyres early on in the race, on lap 4 if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So already 8 laps on those tyres. And depending how long he plans on taking those tyres into the race, he's not going to want to push too hard on lap 14.
Okay, now the gap is definitely getting wider between these two rivals. I can see exactly what J-Man's talking about, especially with the tires. I think he's definitely finding it a bit more difficult in that regard. And yeah, there's another one off in the third section there, so obviously some information coming through. So there must have been an incident. As Jay has said already, we've got DNFs, 3 DNFs currently at the moment, due to some incidences. But nice to see Thomas in 8th place, still on the track, still going ahead. Yeah, look, he's a pretty large distance behind these guys. He's already 1 minute 20. But I mean, he's, I think the name of the game here is to finish the race. And I think that would be something to achieve, especially on no assists at the moment. So he needs to definitely give it a go and keep it going there. So here we go. Devon moves out the way. Nice avoidance there.
Would be a fantastic achievement. Finish your debut race in the points without assists.
Absolutely.
It's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's going to really care how far behind you were. The point is, you were in the points.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's already impressive.
Yeah, I spoke to him a little bit earlier on this evening, and he was a little bit wary, knowing that he was going into the race. He didn't know what to expect. I did hear him practicing a little bit while I was discussing and talking with him, and there was a lot of unkind words coming out. And obviously, I think he was creating space for everything at the moment. But he might have tanned it down, might have sort of brought himself towards himself, and then found that sense of control. So hopefully we don't jinx him, as the commentator jinx normally happens. I hope he finishes the race. I think that would be a great achievement for him this evening.
Up at the front, still BTW leading from Wazi. That gap's growing, 4.8 seconds. So maybe Wazi just having a hard time holding on to DW on those ultra soft.
Oh, look at that.
Too much. Sets the fastest lap, a 140.5.
Nice stuff.
It's obviously just getting the most out of those ultra softs right now. It's at the right temperature. They're working perfectly. And Wazi's soft tyres are 11 laps old. So they don't really have that much to give.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Jeff speaking to him at this point, nice little penalty picked up from Gav Peg there, which he's got to watch himself, because if he gets too many, I'm telling you now, it could put him into fourth. And I mean, that could put Springbok Gamer up.
Calculations are having 3 penalties. Up to 9 seconds. He needs to watch it.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, he's got to watch it. It could be. I think you said 9 seconds.
A few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it. From what I've seen, at least 3 different occasions. The second time penalty warnings. So that's at least 9 seconds.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, around about 9 seconds there. So let's see. I mean, if Springbok Gamer can get himself up, I mean, he is way behind there. Maybe we should actually just have a look and see if it does give you the gap to leader, fastest laps there. And let me see if we can find something. I think individuals would actually give it to you.
And picking up his own penalty warnings, having the track limit.
So just to go on the strategies as mentioned
penalties.
There. Just to go on the strategy as mentioned, if we just have a quick look at the stops there. So David is on, he's had 1 stop. Wasi has had 1 stop. Gavin's had 1 stop. Springbok Gamers had 2 stops, and I think that's what's put that distance between them. And then the judgman's on one stop. Staff's had 3, so he's definitely had some issues, either some broken bits of car coming off, etc., etc. And then also 3 stops for Devon. And then 2 stops there for Thomas. So this is where it is. And we've just had another warning through Sector 3. So I'm wondering what's happening there. Yes, it looks as though the Red Bull. It looks like Staff. Staff is out of this race, so he did not finish and he retires. Unfortunate for him, but I think a good way into the laps there. Remember, this is a 31 lapper, so 18 laps in.
Race control. Just to bring it to your... So now you can... What? Your eyes open. It's only lap 18.
Only lap 18 of 31 laps. So, as you mentioned there.
Seconds worth of gate. Over halfway distance. It's not in front.
Okay, so let's have a look. Oh, geez, I nearly lost it there, Divot. You've got to be watching yourself. I mean, there is concentration, that intense concentration, especially on this track. And I think that's what it's all about. You know, do you have the concentration to stay on and to stay focused? And 31 laps, I mean, obviously we're doing 50%. So it's normally a 62 lap race. I think the guys are just absolutely smashed tired when they finished this particular race. At night, I mean, the visuals are great, as usual. And then you're sort of looking at what we're going to do, where we're going to go. I think a lot of people...
it's one of those tracks that you can make a mistake really out of nowhere. I mean, it's a difficult track. It's a tiring track, and especially if you're having a lonely race. If you're having a lonely race with a big gap in front of you and a big gap behind you, and you do a few laps alone around here, it's very easy to just make a mistake, miss a braking point, and if it's in the wrong place,
you're done.
It's not a lot of forgiveness.
Okay, so Wazzy's got a 3-second penalty now. So he's also now got to watch himself. But I don't think he's got too much to worry about from Gavin, because Gavin's got 9 seconds plus at this point in time, so gap peg. But I think you're right, absolutely, Jay. What you're saying is, you know, it's and I think this is what's captured these other guys. They sort of were doing fine, and that slip of concentration, wrong angle coming into somewhere, or wrong angle going out, or putting too much power on the throttle leaving, this creates that problem. You really have that difficulty, and it doesn't set you good in time, and you smash. That's it, you crash. Smash to crash. So through the start and finish now with David. Nice going from his side, still on the purples. And coming up to the back markers, as you can see in front of him. So he's got to be wary of who that is and how they operate. And that's one of the things, you know. Yes, they do get to drive with one another quite often. So, you know, they obviously understand who's in front of them and how they react. The blue flag's going like crazy. So Devin passed this time round. And obviously just really taking care of business. That's what David is doing, just taking care of business. We've dropped down to see how the debutant is doing in the Red Bull at the moment. And yep, you've missed it there. So yep, he's probably gonna just pull that out. Springbok Gamers just passed him. So there we go. Here we're on board with Devon. Also enjoying the ride this evening. Going a little bit wide. I think setup might be tyres. But he needs to just take care of business as well. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there against the wall. I think he needs to get this thing back to the pits as soon as possible. I think it might be some issue with the car there. On board with the judge. 13. Speaking to Judge, that's his favorite number. And I didn't want to ask him. I didn't want to be overruled, so I didn't ask him why he calls himself the judge. Gav Pig's just taken him over, so I think obviously he was expecting that. I think J-Man's back with us.
Yeah, I'm here. There's still the same two at the front. 10 seconds between the two.
It's now 10 seconds, so he's lost a bit of time. I think your statement about the tyres is now coming to the fold. They've obviously, I think Wazzy has to do something. I mean, if he wants to catch David, he's got to make a decision.
I think maybe he wants to finish with the ultras. I mean, with the hypers.
Could be. I mean, then
finish on the fastest tire. But then you need to stop as late as possible so that they don't last that many laps.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, is exactly what the case. If you look, we're on board with Gav now, Gav Pig. I mean, he's on the purples now at the moment. And, I think he's catching, but, the problem is once you've done a couple of laps on these, you tend to slow off quite quickly, and it gets a bit like an iceberg going around this track.
9 laps remaining now, so maybe with 6 or 7 laps to go, he'll come in and try the hypers.
Yeah, sorry, J-Man.
Sorry, compounds now.
Yeah, sorry for screaming out loud there, but I just nearly saw Gav hit the wall. And lucky for him, he took his foot off the accelerator, as he would have been out the race. So we do have that footage online at the moment where Gav nearly lost it big time there, but he's managed to save it.
So your top 3 remain Toro Rosso, Force India, and Ferrari. And the Haas still goes around in 4th place, where it's been since the beginning of the race. Really good race.
I think the two horses.
Haas would be very happy with the result, actually.
Yeah, I mean they've got two good drivers at the moment. They've got the most stable guys, the guys that actually just stick to it. And I'm going to go down to there's Judge. You know, he's still picking it away, still going on. And there you have Springbok Gamer. And these guys came from, just to give you a little bit of understanding, I mean, these guys started racing on Formula 1 2017. Around about this time last year, they started on full assist. And now these guys are racing on no assist. So big up to them. I know that the Judge Man, he sort of started towards the end of season 1, in actual fact, to get rid of it. And the same goes for Springbok Gamer. And I mean, I take my hat off to them. I mean, I don't race with assist, but I still can't put in some of the times these guys are doing. So they've come a long way, and compliments to them for doing that. You know, it's great that they are going for what we call the Super League. We're calling it the Esport Super League series here at the South African Academy Online Racing. Just a heads up, if you are looking to get involved in some F1 racing, there is a race format that could suit you, and that's held on Fridays, and it's held with the TNB group. That is a sister race, and if you want to get a hold of us, you can do so. You can visit our website, which is available, and or even contact us, and we'll put you through to the right people at TNB. And you know, if you're looking to join a league, why don't you do that? It's great fun, as you can see from what we're doing today. As I said, this is probably the Super League, but we do have other leagues. If you're looking to get involved with Project Cars, which is also a great and fantastic game. There's obviously the guys from SAAOLR. They're very much involved in Project Cars, so if you are interested in getting involved in that, let us know. And you can leave a comments on this particular video, and we can put you in touch with the right guys there as well. So you can either do Formula 1, you can either do Project Cars 2, and also GT Sport is also available. So if you want to get involved in that, you can do that through the TNB group as well. They do hold a championship league racing, so you can always contact us. We will take care. There is a Ferrari, which is just
retirement by Gav. While you were talking,
oh,
Gavin has retired from third place. That's promoted Springbok Gamer.
Oh.
As I mentioned earlier, just holding on to that fourth place. And if there was a retirement, he was going to find himself on the podium.
So Jay, I just want to tell you, this has happened a number of times during the pre-practice. This is a pre-practice, and it's also selection time. So this is where the teams are looking at the guys, looking at where they need to put themselves and approach these guys for contracts. That's what's going to happen now after this race. We're here at the South African Academy Online Racing. We'll put the teams together, who's racing with who, and then we'll reveal that next week. I would say midweek on Wednesday. We'll be revealing who'll be racing with who, and then the guys are going to see who their teammates are.
Some interesting combinations. Maybe some fast combinations.
Absolutely. Here we go. We can see. Oh, the judge man's just pranked. Oh.
The judge is retired from the session.
So this is
not
really.
Not long after Gav is retired.
It's really becoming quite brutal.
5 runners.
I knew this was going to be the case, and this is why I chose this track. You know, we have to see. We're on board with.
It's really that last 5 laps or so of Singapore. That's what gets you. Ooh, and that Hawk pushed him off in a big way.
But was he in first? Was he in first? I've got Wazzy as first. Have you got Wazzy as first?
DW has some new set of tires. Wazzy is still out on the set of softs. They're 20 laps old. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's in front, because he hasn't made a pit stop. So he leads by 10 seconds on 21 lap old softs. Interesting to see if you can maintain that gap.
I mean, this is what I want to see now. I mean, this could be really fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If he does it, if he wins this race on those, it's great. Absolutely great.
I said it on lap 4 when he put them on, and it sounded a bit ridiculous at the time. But getting pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can he really stretch another 5 laps out of them?
Well, I think he has to make that decision right now. And let's have a look and see if we can go with him and see if that's going to happen. Because
that gap has come down from 10 seconds to 9 seconds in the matter of a lap. So,
do the math.
If he goes in, he needs to go in now and come out on the fastest tyre available. Can't lose more time.
Yeah, I can see there is a bit of issues there. That was a side. Going into the side there. Oh, he's staying out.
2 seconds.
He's staying out there. So it's going to be really, really tight to see what's going to be happening.
I just feel probably does catch him, which it seems like he will. 7.4 seconds now the gap. I just don't think he's got. I just don't think he's got the tyres to fight back.
Well, if all, it's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. If all. And I mean, unbelievable stuff. Nicely done. From both of these drivers, really giving it a go and really taking care of things.
6.5 seconds now the gap continuing to come down. So almost 2 seconds a lap.
Unbelievable. Now, some of the things that you may not know is, do you know this track? They've been racing here for the last 52 years.
19 years.
19 years. I've got 1966. Oh, sorry, that was the first race held. The first Formula One race held was 52 years ago.
That would have been the first race held, and it probably came a few times and then disappeared for a long time. But yeah, no, the first one was actually a very long time ago. It's actually quite surprising because when you think of Singapore, you think of this, and
I think
you're not really thinking of the 60s.
Yeah, no, I think they said the non-championship race was called Formula Lauber, which was in 1961. And then they had the Malaysian Grand Prix when it got its independence, and in 1965. And then they actually had the track. The reason, and then sort of, I would say probably from 72, 73, there were races held here. But the first Formula One, the actual Formula One, announced in 2008, when there was an agreement signed to have, and they called it the Singapore GP. That's what they then. So it went from the Malaysian Grand Prix to the Singaporean GP in 2008.
Right, going back to the front, was he just 3.1 seconds now ahead of DW?
I'm in two minds here. Should we go and put ourselves on David to watch this catching? I think let's do that. Let's see if he is going to be close enough. Because if we look at the current situation, it's lap number 28, if I'm not out of 31. And we definitely will see. We definitely will see a catching.
I think you can follow DW, and I'll just follow Wazzy.
You go ahead,
so that we can.
Because here it comes.
Have perspective.
It's coming now.
The gap is a visual one now.
Very visual, if I'm looking at what I'm seeing here. So there is going to be trouble coming soon.
He sees his target. And it's just 2 laps. I don't know if those softs still have something left.
I mean, it was a gamble and a half. There is a car. I don't know if somebody's crashed out. Yes, okay, no problem. He got out of the way nicely there, so it was a caution, under caution to watch out. That was taken care of.
Tell you what, if the race was 2 laps shorter, this would have been the perfect strategy.
Wow.
So, just needs to keep it together for another 2 laps. DW just needs to stay close enough behind and wait for an error.
Unbelievable. Here we go. Both TNB boys, as I mentioned, lifelong friends, and the rivalry of this particular format is right on right now. He's catching him. Let's see how well Wazzy defends, because I tell you now, it's basically lap 29 out of 31, and is he going to keep... Oh, he's pulled to the
flip
side.
Open his DRS. And
great
no,
defending.
Not yet.
Great defending.
Made sure he had that inside line covered.
He did. He made sure he defended very well. And you can see Wazzy's defending as he should be. I mean, here's the DRS on. So this could be... He's got him in the gap. He's looking for that. He's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's going to go wider. Still, wow. Great defending there by Wazzy. Lovely, lovely defending. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And David, I think his mindset is I'm gonna get Wazzy. That's his mindset at this point in time. Very nicely done. Are you on board?
Still time, of course. Still a lap and a half to go. Surely those softs they can't feel that good right now.
Defending the line
just
there.
Needs to make sure he stays right there and waits for it.
I mean, anybody who's watching this, if you want to see how to effectively protect your line, here goes. I mean, Wazzy's doing such a great job. He's really defending his line perfectly, and he has the right to do so. I think he's really got that strategy going.
I think this time around it's going to be more difficult, because as they get on the DW pulls aside, opens the DRS, and still defends that inside line. And we're on the final lap.
We're on the final lap.
Come down to this.
Unbelievable race, guys. Unbelievable racing. Fantastic.
We're on the final lap, and the battle for the lead is within 0.03 of a second.
Awesome.
Not over yet.
Oh, I saw what David was trying to do there. Great strategy. He was trying to go. He was really going to try and push him. You see, he's going for the inside line. Wazzy's got to get across quite quickly, else he has to give that line up. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, bit of a touch there.
Bit of a touch, but I didn't see any debris on the track. I don't think
here
there was
we go,
any damage.
Here we go.
Down the straight.
Oh!
Down the inside, and he's...
I think well defended by Wazzy there, but I think he just couldn't defend anymore. I think he had he's lost grip on the tires. Oh, there was a little bit of a sway from David there, but nicely done. We're on board with David. I don't know if you're watching Wazzy now, but I think he's going to be battling to keep up with him. And I think there we go.
Over the line in first and second, and nicely done.
Very nicely done, guys. Well done. Terrific racing.
Just those softs. They couldn't go on for an extra lap. But yeah, very nicely done. And we go back to the horse driver, Springbok Gamer.
Yep. I'm just trying to get
Still
hold of him
going
now.
around.
He's still going. He's
Currently in third place. Just wait for him to come over the line so that it's a classified third place. Nice helicopter shot now of him coming down the straight. Oh, you'll be happy with this. He started in fourth, finished in third. Not a lot of drama. I think it's the perfect race.
Yeah, I think we're going to see fist pumping finish from him. Very nicely done. I think the Haas crew are going to be very happy. There's a bit of debris on the track, which you've got to watch out for. So he's coming into turn number 19, 20. Here's 21 and 22 and 23, and then through start and finish. And I think there's going to be some really great stuff. And well done. Third, it finishes third. So very, very nicely run there.
I can confirm that our debutant has got a classified finish as well.
Well done.
He's done really well, because I mean he didn't manage to finish the practice session, and he really battled through qualifying. He managed to get through the entire race.
Really great stuff, guys. So if you are watching this video, you can like it. If you like the commentary, hopefully myself and Jay did a good job for you. And if you do like it, smash the like button, and we hope to see you again. Remember, we are starting the Grand Prix season next week. Jay will be joining me once again in the commentary box, and we'll be bringing you the South African Academy Online Racing Season 3. Very much looking forward to having you on board with myself and the J-Man. And any words from you, Jay?
Yeah, it was I think it was a good last installment for a social race, for a practice race, and we saw some good action at the end there. But yeah, we'll be back next week, and if it's anything like today, I think we're in for a good season 3.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to be signing us off on the actual calendar side.
100%. Everyone, thanks for joining us, and see you next week.
Absolutely. Cheers for now.